I'm Angel, and today I'm so honored to have Aidan to be a part of our artist talk. And now I'm gonna give the floor to Aidan, and feel free to really introduce yourselves and also kind of like share what you do, kind of like why you started with art.
Great. My name is Aidan Alexander Dice. I'm an artist in Rochester, obviously. I've been doing art for almost my entire life. My current passions have started kind of in college, and I've fleshed them out since then. And now I try to sell my art as my biggest passion, and I do still work a regular job, unfortunately. But I would love to be a full-time artist someday.
Amazing. And did you study art in college?
I studied new media design at RIT, so I was looking into doing like graphic design, website design, stuff like that. But it really kind of wasn't for me, I discovered. So I've been focusing on doing regular art since then.
Awesome, amazing. All right, now the floor is yours. Feel free to talk about your art and like the stories behind what you do.
All right, so I've got my presentation here. So we're going to start with this piece. I want to bring everyone through the story of how I got to making this particular piece. It's the most recent in a series, I suppose. I keep doing this particular one over and over and over again. So this is, this year's iteration of it. I've done many before. I'm going to keep doing a lot more. So we're going to be going through this piece for a while. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'd be happy to stop and answer them. But I just kind of want to bring us all through a journey of how I got to this point. So obviously, this is where we're at right now. Did
Hmm.
this year, and this is the first time I ever did this back in 2021. So in case anyone can't recognize it, this is based off of the transgender flag. I started more seriously considering art as a career about the same time as I came out as trans. So this piece is very integral to who I am as a person. It's obviously this was the first iteration of it, so this was about when I started to discover that I was transgender. It was about when I started to re-enter creating art. And so in order to tell this story a little bit better, I'm going to take you through uh, some art that I did before this. So these were all self-portraits that I had done. They're all about the same, moody, dark, brooding, that kind of aesthetic.
Hmm.
I did not think very highly of myself.
Hmm.
I did not like looking at myself. Never could quite put the words to it at the time. Um, I don't really like looking at this stuff that much anymore. I had thought
Mhm.
about putting up pictures of like the actual pictures of myself that I had from before I transitioned, but I don't like looking at that. I think it would be more interesting to discuss this in terms of like, how did I see myself?
Right.
That was a
Yeah.
very important aspect to how I did art at the time. I don't have very much saved from before now. I probably just ended up throwing it away or not thinking about it anymore. So it's, kind of interesting that this is what survived.
Hmm. I have a lot of questions. I'm gonna hold on to it because I think you have
Sure
like
thing.
a long story you are trying to tell. Yeah.
All right. So this is the first time I started doing digital art. In college, I had a project that was focused on we were making a game based on terraforming, and we needed to make some concept art for it. So this is the piece that I did for that. It's it was the first time I like taught myself a medium. Like I've been, going through school learning stuff along the way, and there was plenty of people to teach me how to do these things. But digital art, like I didn't know anybody that did digital art.
Hmm.
Um, so I just learned by myself. I looked up stuff online and I actually found out how much I really enjoyed it. So this was, the first experimentation into that. And I remembered how much I loved landscapes. So
Hmm.
after doing these like otherworldly types of landscapes for a while. I went back to doing like, ones that I have seen before. Uh, Being able to depict nature was like very calming for me. I liked going out and finding places to sketch about, or I mean, I liked hiking and spending time outdoors in general. I always loved being outside. I mean, nature is just so it's peaceful, it's creative, it's impersonal. I always felt at ease being outside, being in nature, as opposed to, being in society, being in with people, always made me uncomfortable.
Mm,
So this is about the time that the pandemic happened, of course. So that's when we're all stuck inside, having a hard time. Everybody struggled, I'm sure. But this is, when I had to start confronting myself. Uh, so I had been identifying as non-binary for a while, just amongst my friends, and anyone very close to me knew this. Um, it was a point of clarity. I wouldn't say that it solved everything at the time, but it was a bit of freedom that I experienced for once. I felt more myself than I had ever. But it wasn't, there was still something that wasn't quite right. But yeah, it was it was a very difficult time. It was
mm,
just me and my spouse together at home. I still had to work because
mm,
we couldn't afford to take any time off, even during the pandemic. So it was a not a fun time of just like getting up, going to work, coming home, being exhausted, and it's just the two of us, and we were both doing that. So it was a very rough time. And when you're experiencing something that's just causing you so much misery, you got to find the one piece that brings you joy.
mm,
So I had started thinking about myself a lot more, how I thought of myself, how I viewed myself. And one of the biggest catalysts was I there was a person I followed on Instagram who took a break from creating, and about a year later, he comes back and he puts a video up of himself on his page, and he just looked so beautiful. Like he had been on testosterone for a year at that point,
wow.
and I looked at him and I was like, this is what I want. And my spouse and I both about that time realized that this was what I wanted. So I started that journey. Um, and I started painting in regular acrylic paint again as well. Digital art was easier because it's not as messy, but I missed that process quite a bit, the process of getting messy. Um, so being able to transition helped me be more creative. I felt so much more free to express how I was feeling, how I was thinking, who I was. So even just briefly like thinking about doing it was so much more freeing for me. Like it took me a couple of months to actually get on hormone replacement therapy. Um, but it was just such a wonderful, like it was one of the happiest times I've ever experienced in my life was being able to finally accept and be myself. So I love to depict the pride flags in these landscapes because like nature was so peaceful for me. It was a peaceful respite from my life, and just experiencing becoming myself was such a joy. I wanted to express that joy that I discovered for myself. I wanted other people to see that as well.
I do
Um,
want to ask questions now.
mhm,
I would you say your paintings kind of summarize the emotion that you were going through? Because I noticed this part is very colorful, and you talked about how you started on the hormone therapy, and it makes you probably feel better or more confident about yourself. But the one before, it was like darkness. It sounds like you're
mhm.
in this shell that you're trying to hide. So I wonder if there any emotional connection between the two pieces.
Absolutely. I definitely uh in almost everything that I have expressed in any way, like clothing that I picked out,
Mhm.
stuff that I would draw, stuff that I would gravitate towards, like was all dark,
Wow.
moody, like sad, depressing. That was like everything that I did before coming out was that. And like
Mhm.
being able to come out, everything I have has color in it. I used to hate wearing makeup, but now I like putting
Mhm.
like eyeshadow, nail polish
Mhm.
on, because it just like it feels so much more expressive and joyful.
Mhm.
And I like that. Not that like dark and moody stuff can't be joyful for somebody to create, but I find more joy in this colorful expression a lot more.
I I like that. And would you say you were like, would you say it's been a while for you to realize you wanted to be or like going through transgender? Like, would you say it started when back in high school? Like, because it felt like it sounds like it's been a period of this whole long progress of even like realizing or even getting this support from your spouse or the community, because I know it can be a very hard thing to like come out. So it's like,
Hmm.
would you say it's like a long-term kind of thing for you?
I definitely knew in not so many words, but I definitely knew that I was not happy with my gender expression in as
Uh,
early as middle school, I would say.
oh wow.
Yes, but I was not educated in
Yeah.
like even the fact that trans people existed at the
Yeah.
time. I had like in high school, I had a friend who came out as trans, and I just kind of didn't understand it at the
Mm,
time.
mm,
So it was definitely about the exposure, the education, having the words to put to it. And
mm.
like once I'm in college, I found out that that is like a thing. Like I had plenty of friends that were trans, but it
Yeah.
kind of then it took a while for me to understand and accept that that was something that I could do for myself as well.
Mm. It's hard, and I couldn't imagine what you went through, like trying to really figure that out, and like, oh, it's hard. It takes courage. So I admire that from you. Yeah.
Thank you. I can definitely agree.
Yeah. Oh, I cannot imagine the courage you must have. Like, yeah, I'm glad you have people who are supporting you. So that's you always in a support community. So that's amazing that
hmm
you have that.
hmm And yes, even that even goes into my next point of having a supportive community is something that obviously it saved my life. Like I can't say that like I would have ended it or anything, but my life is so far beyond what it could have been if I had didn't have access to this. If I didn't have friends and family that were all very accepting, my life would have been completely different. And this is, I think, the most joyful version of me. So I love painting other people's pride flags as well, whether or not I identify with them. It's just something that I can give people where they can look at that and they can say, that's me. Like I see myself in this. So I want them to have a very joyous depiction of their own identities as well.
Mm. I love the colors.
Thank you. Yeah, the colors are very nice.
It's very bright.
So I've got this is my 2024 version of the Seas of Change painting. Like I said, there's been a lot of them, and there will
Yeah.
be more. And that brings us back to the very first, this very one that I did this year. I've come a long way in even in terms of like the techniques of the digital art. I've learned a lot along the way. This is so far this one's my favorite. This my favorite version of this, and I hope they just get better every year. Um, but yes, I would take any other questions that you got right now.
Okay, I do. I probably will. Okay, I'll start with this one. Because you talked about it was like it sounds like a progression of how you felt, and I don't know. Do you think it does relate to your whole transgender journey, or anything to do with it's? It sounds like it looks like a journal, like a personal journal.
Hmm.
So I want to know if there's any connection with what you've been through, and we mentioned like the courage you had. Anything that goes along with the transgender journey you went through?
Absolutely. In fact, I actually started my art selling business specifically to help raise some money for when I was going to
Mm.
get chest surgery.
Yeah, the surgery. Yeah.
Um, so that was like the catalyst for starting the art career, as it were.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I ended up liking that a lot. Like being able to go out and share my art with people is probably the most important thing. I mean, making money is nice also,
yeah.
but I think it's more important for me to be public about this as well. Because I want, like I said, having that one person that I saw that looked so beautiful and happy and wanting to be that. Like
Mm,
that was what convinced me finally to start transitioning. If I could be that for somebody, I think I would, I have to. I have to
mm.
be that for somebody.
Wow, that's really powerful. I'm just so proud to hear that you had the courage. And I know it's not easy. I can't imagine what you went through, like middle school, high school, and even
Yeah.
college. Like it must be so difficult. Um, what has changed from, because originally the first piece you had was like 2021 or 2020, like that. What has changed when every time you start to go back to this painting?
And that is interesting though, because obviously it's the same color scheme the whole
Yes,
time.
yes. Yeah.
So I usually I put down like the very basic pattern first, and then I start like after I start getting into the colors, that's when I see the actual landscape come through for it. Um, I do this a lot with my regular paintings as well. I just kind of pick the colors and then have that guide me. It also helps like I do repaint things a couple of times, but then I start getting like bored of it, so I gotta like
Mm,
go into it and figure out how to make it more interesting or more fun on my end. Like
mm,
the more fun I have with a piece, the better it's going to come out. So I like to do, I like to change little things every once in a while just to keep it fresh and interesting.
mm. Does the moon have any special meanings in this piece?
Um, I don't know, honestly.
Okay.
I when I
Okay.
started out doing those like terraforming drawings, I liked putting moons in things because they were like especially putting multiple moons in a thing like is one of the easiest ways I can do to make it look otherworldly. But I just really love the imagery of the moon and like the soft glow of it. I try to incorporate. I just think it's a really beautiful like piece to a way to tie the sky back into the ground. Especially in this one, I really went all in on trying to get the reflection correct
Mm.
because I think that lighting is just really beautiful.
I see. This is how I interpret knowing your story now and then seeing the progression. It to me it's like a fantasy land. Like, you talked about how it's beautiful. It's like the own like the fantasy land. And I think you were able to build it piece by piece. Because I felt like before it was kind of like you were forced to live in this shell that you like you have no choices. But now you're in the change of you're able to build that world for you. And I think the moon just makes a lot of sense or makes me think of that like fantasy land as you're able to like
Mm.
achieve from, the really flat thing. It's like it's not my world, it's you guys' world. To like this
Mm.
is really me and I'm living in this land and it's just beautiful. Like I think it's so much more amazing to hearing the story from the piece from 2021 and to now to like and also see you being so like happy and confident within yourself. And it does reflect a lot into this painting. So if there's more coming on next year, I can't wait to see what you're gonna paint.
Yeah, I definitely love that point of it being like a fantasy world because that's
Yeah.
also how I take all of my other pieces that I do. I there are very few pieces that I've done where I've like literally based it off of a landscape that exists in real life.
Mm,
I love just kind of combining like the colors guide the mood quite a bit. And then I think of like what this type of mood makes me think of. Like, is it an ocean? Is it mountains? Is it a
mm.
field? And then I just kind of make up based on like what I've seen in real life or pictures that I've seen of things. I kind of make up what the landscape would probably look like in that way.
Yeah, I like that. And I like how, yeah, I think it's like mountains, but you never know. It can be the ocean. It can be
Hmm.
pretty much anything in your own world, whatever you want it to be. You created it. So you're
Mhm.
like the master of you know what's going on. There's one piece I do want to go back to, if you don't mind going
Sure thing.
back to a few pages before.
Oops.
Um, oh yeah, I
That one
wanted.
got out of order.
Okay.
Let me know when to
This
stop.
one. Oh, this one, the
This one?
2020. This one, I want to know about this piece because I love the color palette and I think it's so beautiful. I would definitely like if you have a po I would definitely buy and like hang on my wall. I think it's amazing. It's a beautiful piece. I guess was it just like a simple painting for any emotions you were going through at that time? It was during COVID too. So you talked about how like you had a job, you have to work. Other than that, like, do you have any other location that you really enjoyed that you go to relax, or that's why you paint this like kind of the color scheme and by the lake?
So this one in particular, this is like very loosely based off of so I grew up in Ithaca, Lansing, just
Beautiful.
outside of Ithaca. Yes, it's
Yeah.
a beautiful, beautiful area.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And so this is I spent like almost every summer, every day in summer by the
Wow.
lake at some point. It was a very nice time, and like I do remember being homesick at this time, and obviously I can't just go visit because everything's locked down.
Yeah.
But this was also when my parents moved out. They went to retire in the Adirondacks,
Mm,
so I couldn't really, there wasn't really a home that I could go to. So it was a much more different type of homesick that I felt at the time.
mm.
But yeah, this was basically like a memory of being near the Cayuga Lake and really wanting to go back.
Oh, it's beautiful. And then the probably have to keep going for the next one. Oh wait, this
That
one.
one.
This one, it's interesting because it's like your transition. It felt like the darkest moment of your life. I don't know if I'm interpreting correctly because you talked
Mhm.
about how it was like a breaking point for you to come out or to go through that process. I wonder about the color choices because it does feel dark, but there's also, I think it's probably the hope because of the yellow and the sun. It's like, oh, there's the light coming out. So I want to know, it's my interpretation, so I want to know about how your thinking was when you painted.
Right. This one is also specifically the non-binary flag.
Oh, okay.
So that's the way that the colors are layered in the flag. But I
Mhm.
do agree. I think it's such a beautiful combination of colors,
Mm.
having the like the black and the purple against that really light yellow and white. It does always make for a really great landscape. Obviously anything that has like a nice light top
Yeah,
colors to the flag makes a really great sky.
yeah,
But yeah, the contrast is always so fun to play with this one.
I see. Oh, that's I can see the darkness and also the flags now, like everything just it works together really well. And comparing with the one
Hmm.
before, it's such a different vibe. Like I couldn't tell it's
Yeah.
from the same artist. Like it's they're both from you, but you must have been went through a lot in this piece. It's a way you kind of
Mhm.
express that through this painting. Okay, and then next one. Um, I like this one.
Yeah,
Um,
these ones were fun.
yeah,
They're
they're
like
bright.
4x4 sized paintings. I do like doing these a lot because they're nice, simple, like cheap ways to do like hand done acrylic paintings of
Mhm.
pride flags.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love having stuff that exemplifies other people in my community, and like giving them something that's accessible, especially, is really important to me, which is why I do like the prints and the paintings,
Mm,
because like people can afford prints. Prints are decently cheap, so they can afford pieces that are really representative of their identities. And then if they want like a nice original piece but don't want to like spend a crazy amount of money, I usually
yeah.
only sell the 4x4s for $20, so that it stays relatively cheap so people can afford something beautiful that they love to look at.
I like it. I like the color. I like it's about the pride. It's cool.
Thank you.
All right. Next one, I think I have oh yeah, this one. So, I mean, I know this is also about like the pride kind of like a collection. Like there's also a heart down in the bottom with the like the heart shape, the red one.
Hmm.
Are there any other meaning? Did it ever paint your emotion like about the feeling you went through? Or does it ever have to do with something about your transition journey? The moments you felt? I don't know if there's any kind of thing that you were involved personally when painting these kind of like colorful pride reflection.
Well, a lot of these I started as in a certain way a gift for friends.
I
I
see.
have a lot of friends that identify as asexual or on the
Mm,
asexual spectrum, and they are always frustrated that there is not a whole lot of like support for asexuals, especially when, when Pride merchandise comes
yeah.
out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they usually don't feel very seen by our
Mm,
community,
mhm.
which is, not good.
Yeah.
I like to make sure that they have some sort of symbol that represents them that they can enjoy as well.
Mm,
So and then that's why I started doing the like, it feels kind of mean to call them the more obscure identities, but but the ones that people aren't as like they don't recognize them as well as the other ones.
mm. It also can be, I don't know if you do postcards for these, but I can see that being like a pride or asexual postcard collection. So
Hmm.
it's like if you can give it like a gift cards or not gift cards, like a gift to your friends card. Maybe not Christmas cards, but definitely like birthday cards or like give it to your friends.
Right.
It's so colorful too. The color, like the imagination, even your own fantasy with your color scheme with like the other paintings. It just it it makes me kind of happy just seeing all the colors it has and how it's a tribute to the community. So just it's just nice to see that.
Mm.
Okay, next. Oh yeah.
Totally.
And then this one. Yeah, now seeing this one comparing with the 2025, the most recent one. I can see the whole shift. It's like the sun is coming out, so there's the future is bright, and then you have
Hmm.
the moon. It's like, oh, it's my own little land now. It reflects on how like happy and proud you are. I can
Hmm.
really see that. Cool.
Yeah. I do like this one still, but the newest one is still my favorite.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I like this one too. Wow. I guess for this Seas of Change, are you planning on painting it every year or is it like an end year for you or 10 year or like what are your thoughts on more of that?
So I do I paint like the trans flag into paintings all the time to
Mhm.
have pieces to offer for people who want to, buy that style of art. But for the actual digital one, I am aiming to do one every year.
Mm,
Because I like seeing that change, like seeing that progression of not
mhm.
just like my own mental state, but the progression of my skill set and my style and all that. So yeah, I do. Hopefully, I will do one, at least one every single year.
Can't wait to see more. It's a great story you should tell. You're telling you're I guess moving on, the question I have is like it's you have so much courage to really come out and go through this process. How has really art helped you, when you're really it's a painful process despite the courage and how happy you are now. I'm assuming there's a lot of struggles you've been through, difficulties. How has art really helped you with the whole healing process or emotionally?
So I would definitely say that even just creating has been really something freeing for
Mm,
me. Because in college especially, you're basically only creating to get a project done.
yeah.
There's not too much room for expression or having fun with it or anything like that. So uh, being able to focus again on doing it because I want to do it and not because I have to do it has been
Mm,
really integral to like even being able to make stuff that I like in general. Um, and even beyond that, like doing the like selling my art at markets and
mm,
festivals and all that is has been really incredible because I get to meet so many people. I mean, obviously
yeah.
that's where we met, so
Yes.
I get to meet so many people that I love talking to, and everybody's got their own story.
Yeah.
And I do volunteer for an organization that helps out queer artists as well. So I get to meet a lot of people through that, and I get to support, people who are exactly like me, who need a
Okay.
lot of help.
Powerful. Adding on to that message, someone might be watching now or later who's also, going through the same struggle. And I guess they're also scared to change. What would you say to them? Or what's your message to these people?
So change is scary. I can't ignore that. There's a lot that's going to change. And like that was one of my biggest fears is I just wanted to, I wanted to transition and I wanted nobody to treat me differently. I just wanted to, exist and not be a burden on anybody or anything like that. But like it there are gonna be people who are gonna treat you like that no matter what. So, just stop living by how other people are going to anticipate this change. There are changes that are within our control and outside of our control. And I just said, either I'm going to be miserable and the same, or I'm going to change and things will be different, and I probably will feel better.
Wow. And I mean, I can tell you felt so happy now with this whole transition, and it's proud to see you like it just even the art can tell, like all your paintings can tell your emotional state, which I think it's incredible. And I am just so proud to see you being so happy and taking that courage to really kind of chase what you are meant to be or to just be who you are. It doesn't matter what society says, what our culture says, and you just did it. And that's incredible. I don't know how people can actually do that in their lifetime. So I think you are inspiring a lot of the people either in the trans community or the other community or people who wanted to change, but they are scared to do that. So it's not just about like this whole identity thing, it's also about like who we are. So I mean, I'm really moved by your story, and I think it's different when I hear you telling about your journey and what you've been through, and even like I said, the darkest paintings can tell like the struggles you've got, and I can imagine how much pain you went through. And I'm so glad you have the people, your friends who are here to support you. I think that's why art is so amazing, is it tells your whole story. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for your journey, and thank you
Of
being
course.
so like open and so vulnerable. And I think it's gonna inspire a lot of people.
I sure
Now,
hope so.
yeah, it will. It will. I think it will. Now, the question is, moving forward, what are your goals as an artist? Kind of what I guess I'll add on to one more question is, how would you like to be like remembered as an artist by other people?
Well, I haven't thought too much about
Okay.
moving forward, I'll be
Yeah.
honest.
Mhm.
I'm just kind of I'm still figuring some stuff out. I don't have everything planned out. I think ultimately what I would love to be able to do is have some sort of community space. Like if I could afford
Mhm.
to run some kind of community space for, uh, just any queer artists
Yeah.
or queer young artists, that would be very nice. I owe a lot to having a community
Mhm.
around me, and I think that would be really helpful to other people. And, as far as being remembered, I just, want people to remember that I made art that I liked and that I was happy about it.
I like that. I like that. And whenever I'm making this video, I don't know, like I'm thinking about change is like a key word or just the courage to do that. It's truly inspiring. Yeah. Thank you.
And
Um,
thank you.
no, thank you so much for sharing your journey. And I don't know, I'm like just taking my time to reflect on what you went through and like your work really tell. And it's different when hearing the stories of what inspires you. And thank you for being so vulnerable and so open about this whole
Well,
journey you
yeah.
had.
And thank you for giving me an avenue to share it. Like I said, I think it's very important for, other people that might be experiencing the same thing for them to
Hear
know that
it.
there's other people out there.
Yeah, you're not alone. You're not alone. Yep. Yeah, I like that. And our society, we all felt like lonely in a way because we never really get the chance to hear about either other people or like even I think me with my friends, it's hard for me to be vulnerable sometimes too. So I think hearing it's scary because you don't want to be judged. You don't know what they're gonna think.
Mhm.
And I think you have that courage to I mean to come out to really be who you are, to not hide in the shell and to like just be open about your journey. It's so incredible. I mean, oh, I think people are gonna be so inspired. And maybe they, like you said, you watched the other guy went through the process and that's what decided. I think someone's gonna be really inspired and do the same thing. So, and they're gonna be so proud that they can finally be who they are and taking that step. Wow. So thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will also put my information page up here in case anybody wants to check that out ever. I'm always up for any email or text communication, so if anyone wants to reach out at all and talk, I'm always here.
Yeah. And oh, do you do any commission pieces or any customized
Yes,
drawings, paintings? Okay.
yes. I do have commissions. I can do original acrylic paintings. I can do digital art if that's what people want. Usually people do love to commission the acrylic pieces, and I
Yeah.
can, I can see why it's very personal. It's very it's gonna always be unique. There's always gonna be only one of that's ever existed.
Yeah. Oh, and then I guess my question would be, are you going to any other upcoming shows or any other any other places like for gallery and stuff? People may want to pop up or just say hi.
I will say this Friday, I've got a gallery in Rainbow Camo, which is in the Village Gate. We're having a
Mhm.
First Friday gallery showing. I don't have any other plans for the rest of the year, but next year we're going to be working on queer handmade art festivals coming up in the end of June. We haven't fully worked that out yet because it's so far ahead, but we're working hard on it already.